Man, there was some crazy drama on tonight. Let's talk, y'all. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And this is Ambition Season 1, Episode 14. And the name of this episode is You Owe Me. Man, the drama and the shenanigans on tonight was crazy. This was a damn good episode, y'all. I'm still reeling off of this shit. Like, this shit was crazy. So, let me begin with this review. We first get a scene with Stephanie and Irene. And pretty much, Stephanie has made the connections, and she knows that there's something going on between Evan and Bella. And pretty much, you know, they go back and forth, and Stephanie was like, I made that bitch a star. No one would even know who Bella True is if it wasn't for me. And then I read her contract, and I find out that a contributing person that's involved in the contract is West Side Sun. You remember West Side Sun, Mom's like, oh yes, that was the company that sponsored Evan in his campaign. You know, Evan always says that, he was always West Side Sun. So they making all the damn connections, and then she talked about the $1 million that was disappearing from some of the other accounts, but then it was put back. And she's like, you know what? And she said, and then she brought up the fact that, oh yeah, and probably that damn kid, it might be his. So I'm like, oh shit. That damn Stephanie is sniffing and she getting close, bitch. But she done already figured out there's something going on between Bella and Evan, and possibly it's been going on for quite some time. So she's like emotional, she's distraught, and Irene, with her cool, cold ass, pretty much lets her know, like, honey, we've invested a lot of time and money into Evan. Do you think we're gonna give all that up at our shot at the Oval? And she's like, so what the hell you saying, Mom? You mean to say I need to stay in this destructive, demeaning marriage just so Evan can get a shot at the Oval? Irene was like, who the hell said it's Evan? I'm talking about you. I see you being in the Oval. Yeah, Evan and your damn father with their big ass egos can't see this shit, but I see the long run. So in the meantime, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. I'm like, oh bitch. Oh shit. That damn Irene is cold as shit. But I be loving her ass. And she makes another appearance in this episode that shocked the fuck out of all of us. I'ma get to it though. Now another thing that happened in this episode, Amara and Titus, they find the damn cameras in their house. Amara made the discovery on the last episode when she kind of whispered to Titus, there's cameras in here, we need to act normal. They got the FBI, they done found all the cameras and everything. And then all of a sudden I'm like, because we remember, how Damien was literally sitting watching them on, watching all the cameras and stuff while he eating Fruit Loops and shit. Oh, his ass come up in there with a French vanilla cup of coffee and see the damn FBI taking all the damn cameras down. Then he tries to erase, because they was about to track where the source was coming from. And at first it got stuck, but then, eventually they lost it. So they had no trace that it was him. But it was funny because after all that went down, you had a scene with Amara and Titus. She thinks it's Stephanie. And of course, he thinks it's Damien. So we see that the both of them go to She goes to Damien and he goes to Stephanie, and they kind of play this little role play with them to see what to kind of see the kind of like put together, like, which one did it. But the funny thing about it, both of them were involved in, breaking you two up, because remember, Stephanie went all the way to Birmingham to get Damien's crazy sadistic ass. So we see them at Damien finally returns back to work, after he got that, time off after that whole situation with Titus. He's back at work and he's saying that, I'm going to go in the Kardix team and, I'm not going to cause you any trouble and all of that. So Amara is really picking on the fact that, yeah, something ain't right with Damien. So she starts playing with his emotions and she says that Titus has been very aggressive and somewhat abusive to her. He said that he threw me on the bed and told me to say your name. And when I did, he locked me in the closet for days. And then all of a sudden he's getting all mad and shit. And Amara is just giving that look like, you dumb son of a bitch. You playing right into my shit. Because all of a sudden he says, I can't stand that holier than thou son of a bitch. How he puts you on a pedestal and then tries to take you down. And, you deserve someone who loves you. Someone who can give you unconditional love. And I'm just looking at this shit. I'm like, Amara is playing the hell out of this shit. He even grabs her and like caresses her face. And as soon as she leaves, she like wipes her face and shit. I'm like, bitch, you better do that. You better fucking do it. Now, the thing is, Titus tried to do the same thing with Stephanie. Tried to tell her that he was leaving Amara. And Stephanie was like, oh, really? And he's like, he's like, you're happy about this? She's like, I am. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that your ass will finally be alone like your sorry ass deserves. And I was like, oh shit. And she's like, oh, what the fuck you think was gonna happen? He was like, well, hell, since you was trying to have sex with me a while ago, I was thinking you was gonna be happy. She was like, fool, do you think I was gonna do that for you? She said, like, look, the only way I would let you get this again will be for one reason and one reason only. To stick it to Amara. Like, so won't you go back home to your little upset little wife. Like, get the hell out of here. But, she was going there, they was meeting up because, what ends up, because another thing that's going on, Purefoy, since that email has gotten, somebody leaked the email to the press about what Hunter Purefoy said about the black community and about upping the dosage on Limitol, and he is getting shut down left and right. You got the stock exchange want to get out of business with him. A lot of these, philanthropists and sponsors are pulling out, and we see that Titus and Lori actually have a good rapport this episode, because even she's like, oh my goodness, like, this is crazy. And, they had a good moment where he was like, this is really funny. This is coming from you. And, I thought you were all about your dad. She's like, look, I'm about my father, but when hell, he wrong. Like, this is crazy. And she's like, how the hell did someone get leaked to an email that he did 20 years ago? And how the hell did this shit get in the press? Like, how the hell this happened? Now, due to the fact that, both Titus and Stephanie are lawyers, they are not allowed to leak that kind of information to the press. I mean, that's against the law, for them to be involved. But we know somebody within the Carlisle camp did that shit. But it may not have been Stephanie herself, but Stephanie knows. So that's why he confronted her about this shit. And she was like, you don't, like, I didn't leak that shit. Like, it could have been anybody. I mean, after all, it's now the whole world knows how Hunter Purefoy really feels about the blacks. He only sees them as peons to make him money, so to speak. And then there was also, like, in the whole exchange between Lori and Titus, Lori was like, I don't understand. Why are you still here after learning what my father said about the black community? And he's like, look, I want to quit 5 times a day. And she's like, but why don't you? Because she says, because I believe that even though this crazy shit is going on, there are some great medications that are doing great things for the black community. This company can do great things, and I think it can do even more great things. So I'm like, see, Titus is always seeing the light, through all the smoke. So Titus is sharp, as an attorney because of that. But yeah, Stephanie really got his ass with that shit. That shit was hilarious. Then we get a damn scene with with Bella and Evan. They bring a doctor to check out Joaquin because Joaquin is still shaken up. I mean, which I completely understand after what the hell they've been through. Then that tramp Perla shows up. Now, Perla is a real piece of shit because she's the one that orchestrated the whole thing, but yet was sitting by playing the role as the devoted best friend, knowing damn well she ain't shit. So she shows up with some shit. Evan completely pays her ass dust. And, her and Bella go back and forth, and Bella says that, yeah, they got one of the guys, but I heard it was 2 people that was involved, and I can't wait, for Evan's guys to get them, because if they don't, hell, I want to kill them my damn self and all this shit. And then you see that damn Perla got shook because she now knows everything gonna connect, and they're gonna end up right at her fucking doorstep, and they're gonna probably put one on her fucking forehead. And Evan don't like her ass anyway. So you saw Perla get shook like, oh shit, Evan's goons are after me and shit. But hold on to that, because she talks to somebody at the end of this episode, and that shit shocked the fuck out of me. So yeah, so pretty much that went down. Then we had saw a scene where Damien was having this sex dream of him and Amara, and then he sees himself in the shower and he's watching Amara and Titus have sex, and he just goes crazy. Like the sweet dream turned into a not so beautiful nightmare. So that's what went down with that shit. So we see that go on. Then we go to Thelma's place with Rondell, Darcia. And let's be real, we got the whole fucking tea on how much of a nasty tramp Darcia really is. She showed her royal black ass this episode. Because we already could tell already that, Evan don't like her ass. But her and Rondell are very close. And he already knows that, that bitch is here for some reason because she messy and she trifling. He was calling it out. Some of the stuff that we were already privy to the last episode. Rondell is just not seeing it, at this time. But right after the damn funeral, right after they bury Senior, here this nasty bitch goes with all of the shenanigans. She talks about, oh yes, I wanted to wait till after the funeral, but I wanted to bring this up that my father actually loaned your father $50,000 to purchase Thelma's place, and $50,000 was a lot of money back in the 70s. So I'm here to get what's mine. And pretty much, in today's money, that's a lot of money. So pretty much, Rondell is really shooken up. Which I completely understand. That bitch, you came in here and you played like you cared about our family and that you wanted to help me through my time of grief, and the whole damn time you want some bullshit. So she's like, look, I'm here to get what's mine, and she sits down with her and with Evan, and she sits down also with Evan, and Rondell is pissed off. And Darcia is just talking her shit, saying that, yeah, I got the notary right here. So, yeah, my dad lent your father $50,000 to start this place, and he never paid him back. So, pretty much, Yeah, he lent $50,000, and probably in today's money, I would say that's about a $600,000 payout. But I'll do $500,000 because we're family. I'm like, if you don't get your nasty corn pudding eating ass going, you better, if you don't take your nasty ass somewhere with that bullshit. I was so through with that. I was like, oh bitch, you are grimy. And Evan took upon himself to say that he wrote her a fucking check and gave it to her. He said, he just gave her the damn check, and she was like, $5,000? This is some bullshit. And he's like, no, but you're full of shit. I was like, all right, Abby, you get her ass. Oh, that shit was funny. And Rondell took the damn check and tore the shit up and just threw it in her damn face and told her to get the hell out. And she's like, you ain't gonna see the last of me. I can promise you that. And sure enough, her nasty ass done found her way back, and I'm gonna get to that. So pretty much, we also, Stephanie also had a meeting with her father. And the father noticed that her and her mother had a meeting. He asked what it was about, but she didn't say anything. But he pretty much lets her know that, I know I'm always hard on you, but it's because, you're young, you're a woman, you're a black woman, and now to add to it, you got a gay daughter. And she says, it wasn't a problem for Dick Cheney, now was it? I'm like, you better get his ass with his homophobia and bullshit. But then he was like, but regardless of the fact, I just want you to have the best, and I really want to see you win, and I know what you're capable of. You want to rule the world. I'm like, yeah, she does. She truly does. But then he lets her know that now I got to clean up this whole English Road situation because Peter's father now wants the airport concession stand. Remember, that's the same concession that Bella wanted, and also the one that Stephanie was trying to get for Peter's, as well as letting him eat at her, Blackberry buffet, if you know what I mean. So he pretty much talks about that, and he says that, look, his father wants that concession stand, so I'm gonna work this out because the girl that sees that department, Daphne, she's in the hospital, but he says, I'm gonna go through Amara, but unlike you, I ain't scared of her like you are. And Stephanie was like, I'm not scared of Amara. No one scares me. And he's like, there you go, you speaking like a true Carlisle. And I was like, man, that shit is crazy. So then we also see that they have dinner together as a family. We got, this is after the funeral, and we just see how much of an arrogant asshole that Steven is. Because Steven was at the table talking shit about the funeral, saying that, yeah, the funeral was nice until people got up there with their ghetto shenanigans. And matter of fact, who was that crazy woman that with that big ass hat who threw herself on the casket? He was talking about Lulel, Senior's was about to be his fiance before he got killed. I'm like, are you serious, bruh? Like, how heartless could you be, man? Like, that's a funeral. Like, are you serious? And we see that this is pissing Evan off. And then he tells Irene, aren't you happy I took you out the Banks, baby? And he was like, and pretty much he's like, look, you are not going to insult my father nor my community or any of that shit. And then he tells Evan, you know that concession stand? You know I want it. And he says, I ain't giving Peter shit after Peter killed my father. You think I'm going to do business with that piece of shit? And he said, Peters didn't kill your father. The hood killed your father. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No, the Senior was assassinated, and he was assassinated for a different agenda. But I'm beginning to think, who knows the fact that Darcia could have had Senior killed so she can get her part of Thelma's place and get that money. I wouldn't put it past her ass now. After she done showed her royal ass this episode, Darcia could have fucking killed Senior, for all I know. Shit. So they go back and forth at the dinner table and shit. And whatchamacallit? Okay, yes. They go back and forth at the dinner table. Evan literally rips Irene's ass because Irene is like, "Come on, let's be civil now." And he was like, "Yeah, look at you talking, supposed to be the hierarchy, but yet you a thug in 1 minute, but yet you walk around in couture suits trying to please something else." I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm paraphrasing, but when he said that shit, I was like, "Oh!" And then Stephanie's like, "Don't you talk to my mother like that? What is wrong with you?" And then pretty much it got to the point where Evan got mad and told Stefan, like, "Look, you better not mention Peter's name in my house or I'm gonna forget that you're the only granddaughter that my daughter and my son got left." So I was like, "Ooh, shit." And then finally Rondell shows up, and then all of a sudden Irene was like, "Oh, it's so nice for you to join the family." Rondell was like, "You mean the Addams family? Please, Evan, I need to see you." And she pulls Evan aside and lets him know that we have been requested for the reading of the will, and guess who's a part of it? That damn Darcia and her lawyer. And at the reading of the will, Darcia pretty much is in the will where they said that she's supposed to get equivalent to 50%, $50,000, equivalent to $50,000 ownership, in Thelma's place. And then so pretty much she got 2/3 of the restaurant, and Rondell and Evan split the other half. And Rondell is heated, like, "I know damn daddy didn't do this shit." I'm like, who knows? I'm like, because Darcy had a shrewd lawyer, and she was up in there being all extra and shit. She's like, "Oh yes, I just wanted to get what was mine, what I deserved. Thank you, uncle." I'm like, "Oh, you nasty bitch, you really gonna play this shit up?" I'm like, she is trifling, because you got some people who are all about money, and that's their MO. They don't give a damn. Here it is. Senior ain't even cold on the ground yet, and her ass is just thinking about getting a coin. Because I knew from the moment we saw her ass, she definitely had her own agenda, and now her agenda has been revealed. I'm thinking she more deeply involved than she's putting off. But that was the end of that. So Rondell is pissed off because 2/3 of her restaurant has been given to her. And I'm like, wow, that shit's crazy as hell. So, like, they gonna have to deal with Darcia's ass, and we just gonna see what the hell else she's gonna pull off. Then we get one of the shockers of this episode. Because I'm gonna talk about 2 more things, and then I'm gonna be in. And if I missed anything, just put it down in the comments, because I don't want to make this long. So then we also see that there was a point where Damien went by Amara's office. She faked like she was talking on the phone about Titus and all of that. And then the next thing you know, we see that because she knows that probably Damien was following them and shit, was following her. So she's at home and everything. Titus is hitting, and she decides to go into the shower. And the shower's running, and Damien breaks into the house and begins to strip down butt ball naked to get into the shower. He pulls the shower curtain back. Amara got a gun on him, and then the FBI come and they arrest his old crazy naked ass. And I was like, oh shit, like, this shit is crazy. But from what I saw in the previews for next week, that motherfucker gonna work an angle and his ass gonna get out. And I'm like, oh, he really gonna be a problem now. Because now he realized that Amara's against him, and she said, "I want him to go to jail for the rest of his life." Damn, Titus saw his ass, and Titus wanted to fight him and shit. And you see that? Damn, he pretty much see Damien's own naked ass being taken into custody. I was like, oh shit, this shit is crazy. But yeah, so they got Damien, locked up for now. Then, oh yeah, and another thing that happened too was that Bella, Stephanie goes to see Bella, and while she's there, she sees Joaquin's hat on the couch. She pretty much puts it in her purse, so she now gonna run a DNA to find out if he's Evan's son. So I'm like, that damn Stephanie is shrewd as shit. But we come to find out where Stephanie gets that shit from. Because the last scene, we see Perla's old stinking ass. She's like, out in the alley somewhere. She opens this car door and she says that, look, they done already killed Eddie and now Evan's people are now zeroing in and I feel that they're going to come after me. What am I supposed to do? What do I do? And then they pan over the camera and it's Irene's ass. And then Irene was like, is it my fault that you don't know how to answer? She's like, is it my fault that you don't know how to follow instructions? I'm like, so Irene was a part of this shit too of having Joaquin kidnapped. I'm like, oh shit. That's where Stephanie gets her shit from. Her fucking mother is a hot ass mess. She be in for the shit and then she just be real coy with it, like, okay. I'm like, oh shit. So she was behind the damn kidnapping. So I think we're going to find out more next week. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments and let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Because this shit was crazy and I can't wait to see what happens next. So until next time, everybody, take care.